it's your girl Ashray, and I'm back with another video. Okay, if you are new to my channel, welcome. Thank you for coming. Please make sure you hit that subscribe button, you know, before you leave, or just do it right now. Like, hit the subscribe button. I would really appreciate it. Support your girl. It would help me out a lot, and it costs you nothing. It's absolutely free. If you are a subscriber or you've been to my channel before, welcome back. All right, let's get into this video. This is Love After Lockup. So basically in this episode, I think it's episode 46, I want to say episode 46. All right, so in this episode right now, Micheal and Sarah are still arguing about the kid. Whatever. No, I don't think this argument is about the kids, honestly. I think this argument is about Sarah being upset that Micheal brought someone with him to New York. Like, I just feel like if you have truly moved on, you know, let that be that. Like, why is it always all the back and forth and everything like that? If you don't want this person anymore, why are you wasting your energy arguing with them? For what? Like, that's a waste of time. That's a waste of energy. Like, it doesn't, if there's no love there, why are you arguing with them? For what reason? What is the reason? Like, I know a lot of people are gonna get on me for this and say, oh, she cares about the kids or whatever, but I don't think it's about the kids. I think because they were fine until he said that he brought someone else with him, and that's just how I feel about it. And so, yeah, that's just my opinion. Okay, Britany, she still wants to meet her kids. So she's looking up some things online, and she's talking to Marcelino about the possibility of her meeting her kids. But she was trying to explain that when a case is like, because, okay, when it involves minors, the cases are sealed. So her kids' adoptions was sealed. Excuse me, I think it's 6 oh, excuse me. This is the effects of being a teacher. Okay. Alright, those kids always get you sick. Anywho. And the fact that she was a child, she was a minor when she had the kids, it also that her record is sealed too. So it's like this whole case is airtight. This is what she was explaining to Marcelino. She finds out that the kids' dads have been trying to reunite with them. The courts call it reunify. So basically they're trying to reunify the kids with their biological father. But I'm thinking in my head, why would they want to reunite the kids with their biological father if A, they were adopted and it's supposed to be a closed adoption, and B, he was a pedophile? So why in the world would they want to reunify him with those kids? That makes absolutely no sense to me. I don't understand that at all. And like, instead of prosecuting him, they're basically like rewarding him. They're not protecting the kids. They're just like, oh yeah, y'all can meet y'all dad. Like, that makes no sense to me, especially if he was prostituting a minor and he got that minor pregnant twice and got two children from that minor. That makes absolutely no sense to me at all whatsoever. Just the system in itself is just all screwed up on all levels. Like, we always say the system is screwed up for jail. The system is screwed up all the way around. The system is screwed up when it comes to kids too, especially DCF, and like some people, what is it called in other places? Because in Florida it's called DCF. I think it's called, I can't remember the name of it right now, but all these systems that are supposed to protect children, some of them do, but a lot of times these kids are being failed, and this is a prime example of how those kids are being failed at this point. But I'm gonna get off my soapbox. I'm gonna move on. And she just basically feels like she's paying the price for everyone else instead of her. Like, she feels like it's not fair that he gets to be in the kids' lives and she can't be in the kids' lives because she can't get any information because the case is basically closed. Andrea and Lamar are out to dinner, and to me it just seems like an awkward dinner. Like, they're just sitting there, they're not talking or anything, and that is what happens when, you know, like, you're a couple and you don't spend a lot of time together. And then on top of that, with them being married and him coming out of prison and them living in separate states, it just makes everything it just makes everything odd and awkward. So she asked him, how did they get to this point? How did they get to where, like, you know, they barely spend time together, they barely see each other, they barely do anything together. And, you know, she tells him that he doesn't have time for her, and that, so basically, okay, let me do it this way. They're having a conversation. How do we get to this point? How do we get here? You don't have time for me. You don't do this. You don't do that. I just got out of prison. I'm still trying to get used to being a free man. Like, you expect me to just leave California, but I have things going on there. I can't just up and leave. But you knew that when you married me, Lamar. You knew that I wanted to be in Utah. And so they're basically, this is the dialogue that they're having, and they're going back and forth. And she basically tells him, like, yo, I'm tired of being alone. I want you here with us and the kids. Like, with me and the kids. I want you here. And he's saying that he's not ready to leave California. And basically at this point, they have to come to a decision about this living situation because it's ridiculous. Like, somebody is going to have to compromise, and honestly, I think it should be Lamar, because she has the kids, and the kids have school and all of these things. So, like, there has to be a decision made here. There has to be some type of compromise. Neither one of them are willing to compromise, but somebody's going to have to. At this point, somebody is going to have to compromise, and they're going to have to figure out their situation. Andrea brings up the idea of divorce, and Lamar is not happy about that. He says that he wants his family. He's trying to support his family. He's trying to be there for his family. He does not think it's fair that Andrea is bringing up the idea of divorce. He said that that's not something that he wants, but she seems adamant about it. Because she's like, this is ridiculous at this point. And I agree that it's ridiculous, but I don't think they should get a divorce. I don't think it's necessary, is that extreme to where they should get divorced. But I think they do need to come to a compromise about what they're going to do in this situation. And in a way, like, I feel like Lamar wants to work this out with Andrea, but she's trying to force his hand. And in any situation, when you're trying to make someone do something, they're not going to do it. They're going to fight you on every end because they feel like you're trying to force them. And you have to kind of make them feel like they're making a decision on their own. I do this with my kids all the time in school. I tell them, okay, I give them kind of like a forced choice. Like, you can do this or you can do this, but those are the only two things you can do. And you have to, like, kind of give some of that control back. You can't just try to have all of the control. Angela decides to take her ass in the house. She finally decides to go in the house because I guess she just didn't want to sleep in the car, and Tony did not go out of the house. So the next morning he asked her, he was like, I thought you stayed at your friend's house. And she was like, no, I basically stayed at the end of the driveway to see if you were gonna leave. And he was like, how are we going to work on this if you don't trust me, if you keep testing me like this? And I just feel like I agree with him with this, even though it's his fault that she acts this way because of the things that he has done. I'm just trying to figure out how she expects this relationship to work if she's going to always be doing things like this. It's not going to work. Like, and then the fact that he's trying to talk to her and y'all know I really don't care for Tony, but right is right and wrong is wrong. He's trying to talk to her. He's trying to have a conversation with her. And instead of her listening to him and trying to have this conversation with him, she's like, I gotta go to work. I'm leaving. Goodbye. And I'm just like, really? Like, he's trying to have a conversation with you. I mean, I understand you don't want to be late for work or whatever. But the way she said it, I just was like, bro. And so, it's just, I don't know. John is talking to his sister. John, remember, this is the John, Lacey, Shane love triangle thing. So John is talking to his sister, and she asked him what happened the night that he was arrested. So he basically told her that the night he was arrested, he found out Lacey had gotten married to Shane, and he was drinking, and so he decided to get behind the wheel of his car. So he was drinking and driving, and then when they stopped him, they found drugs on him, and that is how he ended up where he is now. And he's not in jail. Like, Lacey thought he was going to be going to prison for a while, but he's not in jail. It's kind of like a halfway house type situation, and he has to be there for a while. He's probably going to be there for at least, I want to say, 4 months, if not more, because he was saying that he had already been there for 60 days, and he has to do 60 war. Oh, sorry, y'all. No, that's 60. He has to be there for 60 more days, and then after that, he'll know like what he has to do next. So, his sister is basically trying to have a conversation with him about this whole Lacey situation. You can tell that she does not care for Lacey at all. She tells him that he needs to let it go, and he was like, you can't help you who you fall in love with. And I'm like, bro, she chose the other dude over you. She married the other dude, and he basically feels like Lacey's gonna get a divorce from Shane and be with him. And like, they have been going at this for like 15 years. Like, that's the history that they have. When she's been married to someone else and gotten divorced from that person, and now she's married Shane. And it's like, dude, if she really wanted to be with you, she would have married you instead of marrying Shane after she got her divorce from her other husband. Like, I'm just trying to figure out what his logic is in this situation. Like, I just don't get it. I don't understand what he's thinking. I don't understand it. So he tells his sister basically that Lacey's gonna get a divorce from Shane, and they're gonna be together, and they're gonna live happily ever after. At this point, John, you seem like you're delusional, okay? Like, I'm just gonna be honest with you, because this girl is married. You need to let it go. You need to move on. But he says that he's marrying Lacey no matter what, and nobody can stop him. Britany is still searching for information on her kids, and she decides that she's going to find the father of her children. So she's online searching for the father of her children, and I'm like, Britany, this is not a good idea. I don't think you should be looking for the father of your children. If he did all the things that you say that he did to you, why do you want to see him? Why do you want to meet up with him? Why do you want to bring that heartache, that pain, that confusion into your life? Like, no, you have other kids. You have 2 other kids, and you have a 3rd one on the way. That should be your focus. I know you want to have your other 2 kids, but I feel like there's another way you could go about this without having to deal with the father of your kids. And I think that the way she's doing this is because she saw that they were trying to reunite him with the kids, but I just don't think it's a good idea at all. But you know, she's looking through she's looking through papers and everything, and she excuse me, and she finds out that he's in jail. And so basically she was saying, okay, he's about to be released soon. I know where he's going to be released to. So maybe I should go there to where he's going to be released to, because after he get released from jail or prison or whatever, then he's going to go to like a halfway house type situation. So, excuse me. So she just basically is going to go there and sit there and wait for him to come out. And I'm like, Britany, no, you are crazy as all outdoors. I would not be doing that, okay? And Marcelino is not going to be happy with the decisions that you're making. I don't think Marcelino is going to go for this. And Marcelino is your husband. So I think that she needs to be careful, because she does not want to make things difficult in her marriage, because this is just too much. And Marcelino had already mentioned about how much it costs and things like that. He said they only have a certain amount of money, and if she keeps going and digging through the courts and everything, it's going to cost money. And I absolutely know that he does not want her to meet up with her ex. Like, Britany is, at this point, Britany has lost her mind, okay? No, we're not doing that. Micheal and Sarah, I don't know if I said Micheal and Megan last time. I don't know. Anyways, Micheal and Sarah are still arguing. Like, bro, it's too much, because she had kicked them out the house. And then, like, I guess the producers are like, y'all need to talk or whatever. And so Michael's outside. He's talking to the producers, whatever. He's like, he's over it. It shouldn't matter. Like, what? It shouldn't matter who he's with. It should be about the kids. If for me, Sarah is giving him too much energy, okay? If you don't care about what he's doing, if you don't care, and he's moved on, all of that energy that you're giving out, it should be about your kids, not about who he's with. Because she didn't get all rah-rah until she found out that he bought someone with him. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but that's my opinion, and that's how I feel about it, okay? And so she, like he, you know, is, for once, okay, I'm agreeing with Micheal. Y'all know how I feel about Micheal. I just feel like Michael's a dumbass, and he's a manipulator, and he's a user. But at this, right now, in this situation, when it comes to the kids, I'm agreeing with him. And I can't believe I'm saying that, okay? It's like this episode, and I'm like, I'm agreeing with Tony, I'm agreeing with Micheal. Like, have I lost my everlasting mind right now? Because y'all know how I feel about both of them, okay? Anyways, he feels that Sarah still wants to be with him, and it's possible because she's giving out a whole lot of energy when she found out that he brought somebody else to New York with him. She says that he doesn't have time for her. No, I'm sorry. No, that's the wrong thing. Sorry. And she claims that she wants to have him to have a family with someone else and to leave them alone. Girl, bye. Okay? Because if that was the case, you would not be pushing for him to be in the girls' lives. Talking about you want him to have a family with somebody else and leave y'all alone. Girl, stop it. Okay? No, what it is you want your family back, which in some situations, you know, everybody wants their family to be together, but this is not a situation where your family can be together. It's just not. Let's just call it what it is. He is not going to be committed to you, and I just want him to be committed to his girls at this point. That's it. Like, she, like I said, she's all in his face and everything like that. And like, I'm like, is you really mad about these kids and him not seeing the kids? Because I don't think so. I think this is about Maria. But she doesn't know Maria. She doesn't know the girl's name. But she knows that he bought someone because he told her. So she starts breaking down, and she says she can't do this and this, that, and the other. And Micheal was like, I just want my kids. Like, and he was like, she can't control everything. And I'm like, yeah, she can't. Like, that's basically what she's trying to do to me. She's trying to use the girls to control Micheal and what he does. And it's not that, it doesn't work that way, you know. And what she has to realize is all of this stuff, when you treat a person like that, that makes them want to stay away. And it ends up having a negative impact on your children. Angela and Tony go to church to meet with Brother Joy. Brother Joy, they're going to meet with him, have a conversation with him, kind of like a counseling type thing. He asks him why he and Angela has issues, and he tells them that he's been dealing with other women. Tony tells him that he's been dealing with other women. Brother Joy asked him, is it just words or is it physical? Tony admitted to having sexual relations with these women. President Clinton, I did not have sexual relations with that woman. But anyways, he admits to having sexual intercourse with them. He admitted that he did have sex with these women. So Joy, but and then he goes on to talk about the things that Angela has done, and Joy tells Angela that she cannot live with someone that she doesn't trust. She can't be with someone that she doesn't trust, and I'm like, duh, that's a no-brainer. If she can't trust Tony, that I've been saying this for the longest, she need to just let the situation go. So they are talking, and Tony admits that he does not have a strong relationship with his family. He talks about his past and the things that he went through with his family, how his dad used to abuse them and all this stuff like that. And he's saying that his dad hurt him, and in turn he's hurting Angela. And I'm just like, hurt people. That is the truth. When you're hurting inside of you, you hurt other people. That's just how it goes. And like, he's just repeating what he was shown. That's not an excuse for his actions. It's not an excuse at all. But Tony is just repeating what he has been shown from his family. Michael arrives at the hotel with Maria, and he told her what happened with the kids. He says he knows what it is not to have a father, and he doesn't want to have his girls go through the same thing of not having a father in their lives. He wants to be in their lives. Maria says that he needs to spend time with the girls alone, because what Sarah wants to be around when Mike was spending time with the girls. And I'm like, why? He's their father. He's not gonna do anything to them. It's like, basically she's trying to control everything. And in my mind, Maria's not trying to spend time with the girls. Like, I'm not saying it like that, but she told him that he needs to spend time with the girls alone. And I agree, like, it needs to be just him and his girls and let them bond again. You know, he says he's thinking about taking Sarah to court, and I'm all for it. Like, she done already started her process, so you need to get on the ball, Michael, because you behind. Sarah has already started going to the courts. Sarah has already started looking into custody and everything, so you're behind. He says that he just wants to see the girls and spend time with the girls. And what I don't like about this situation is that Maria says that says that, oh, Sarah is gonna have to see me real soon. And I'm like, girl, that's not your place. You've been talking to Michael for a hot minute, okay? You have not even been here that long. So you need to back up and leave it alone and let Sarah and Michael deal with it. This has nothing to do with you, okay? Lacey and Shane are out on a date. They're going skating. They're having a good time, and then he decides to tell Lacey what happened. So they're having a conversation. He's like, oh, I have something to tell you. And Lacey's like, what is it? And he's like, and Lacey's like, Shane, just spit it out. He was like, well, one night before we got married, I was hanging out, I was drunk, and this girl kept hitting on me. Okay, and Shane, let it out. Tell me what's going on. So I made a mistake, and I was wasted, and I slept with her. And so Lacey was like, well, why would you marry me if you had cheated on me? And he said that he loved her and that he didn't want her to call off the wedding, so that's why he didn't tell her about the situation. So she basically walks off, and she says that she thinks it may be payback for her and John. And I'm like, exactly, you reap what you sow. You was all these things that you were doing with John, or playing Shane with John, so now he has cheated on you. But he said it was a mistake. But my thing is, he admitted to his mistake, and he told you about it. He didn't have to tell you about it because you had no clue whatsoever. Not saying that that's right, but he honestly didn't have to tell you. And then on top of that, you have been going back and forth between him and John. So why are you upset again? What is the issue? It happened before you guys got married. He hasn't done anything since. Y'all need to work it out. But I think she's going to use this as an excuse because she really doesn't want to be with him. I think she wants to be with John, and she just married him out of convenience. That's how I feel about it. So, and then she leaves him at the skating ring. But yeah, that was the end of this episode. Thank you guys so much for watching. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe if you have not already done so. And if no one else tells you that they love you, Asha Ray loves you. I love you guys. Bye, and I'll see you in the next video.